It's expected that on Sunday, Mark Carney is going to call an election. It'll either be held late April or early May. Now, why would Mark Carney call an election right after he got in power? Well, for starters, he can't sit in the House because he doesn't have a seat as an MP. The only place he can sit is in the gallery, and that would just look a little ridiculous. There is a by-election in Halifax next month where he could potentially run for a riding there, but obviously he's not about to. He will obviously find a riding somewhere to run in this upcoming election, so he can hopefully get in as an MP if he does happen to win the election, which I really doubt he's going to win the election. He is, however, taken over in the polls. Ever since Justin Trudeau resigned, the Liberals have gone through the roof in polling. But the polling, obviously, like every other poll, can't be trusted. There's very large biases in the polls, and I believe that this poll is no different. The fact that Liberals are more willing to answer polls compared to Conservatives, so naturally they're going to be a lot higher. Most polls do not make up for that difference in people who are actually willing to talk to pollsters. So that's just going to be one main thing that's going to help the Liberals in the polling section, but I don't think it's going to show when people actually come to the polls. People are very tired of the Liberals. Life has gotten way harder in the last 9 years under the Liberals. They've done so much damage to this country. They're not able to properly fight Trump in this economic war with all the tariffs and everything else. But in fact, Trump did actually just give Mark Carney his endorsement, though, saying he doesn't actually care who wins, but it would be much easier to deal with the Liberals. So.
Isn't that going to make them more hostile to us and possibly
I'd rather deal with a Liberal than a
for
Conservative.
China, closer to Canada, and that would really put us in a bind.
The Conservative that's running is stupidly no friend of mine. I don't know him, but he said negative things. So when he says negative things, I couldn't care less. I think it's easier to deal, actually, with a Liberal.
You might think, why is that? Because, well, we all know Mark Carney is just going to give in to whatever demands that Trump makes. Mark Carney already took his business 6 days after Trump announced, before he was even had won the election, that if Trump had won, he said he was going to add these tariffs on to Canada and Mexico. And right away, 6 days after that announcement, Mark Carney made the decision that he was going to take his company and he was going to move it to Trump's hometown in New York. In fact, although Carney tried to say he had absolutely nothing to do with this decision, it later came out the fact that he was actually leading the meeting, and it was a unanimous decision to take the headquarters and move them into New York. So we all know that's clearly a lie on Mark Carney's part. One other thing that's really helping Mark Carney, in the polls at least, that actually will, I think, help him slightly in the long run, is the fact that he's temporarily or somewhat eliminated the carbon tax. He's only eliminated the personal carbon tax. People on the right are saying that what he did was illegal. He's not allowed to do that. He actually is, because he doesn't actually have to bring it to Parliament. He has the authority as the Prime Minister to change it from whatever percent to bring it down to zero. He just does not have the ability to eliminate the law, which he has not until legislation is brought forward, which he has zero plan on bringing legislation forward. I mean, in fact, I think if he does somehow win this election, which I do not think he will, I still think Pierre is going to have quite a decent lead, especially once everything comes back down to earth. I think he's actually going to put that carbon tax right back on. He's going to make things much worse. He's not taking it off, and he's not going to take the increase off the part for large businesses and industries, or businesses in general, which is really going to affect them, especially come April 1st. There's going to be another huge hike in the carbon tax. It's going to just either cause more companies a lot of harm. It might cause some to close down. Companies are going to be a lot more likely to just move out of Canada, go to the U.S., China, Europe, somewhere where they can afford to actually run a business, somewhere that's a lot cheaper. The States already has lower taxes. They have no carbon tax, all this stuff. Carney says he wants to start charging a carbon import fee to any country that sells goods or brings goods into Canada that does not have a carbon tax of their own. So that's another thing. It's just going to cause the cost of living to skyrocket through Canada. And I mean, personally, I think Mark Carney would be a terrible choice, but looks like we're going to have an election coming up in give or take 6 weeks. And let's hope for the best. And as always, stay curious, my friends.